Not view. Blah, blah, blah. Now, time to welcome our man at the movies, Collie McFadden. I know it's a Friday, which is kind of, we haven't done this on Friday for a long time, due to the short week, and then a lot of brand new music all coming out, or not view. Blah, blah, blah.
A lot of
Do that
movies.
again.
Yeah,
You
we'll
know, this
we'll
is not
we'll
recorded.
start again. It's the Fridays thrown us off. I've been off or out of kilter all day myself, and you're exactly right because last week, we had one new movie to talk about, and it was kind of a niche movie for little kids. Whereas this week, all of them come out like the metaphorical Dublin bus. They're all come at once. We've so many movies, and not just so many movies, so many interesting movies with a different variety of stuff, and two that are already really doing very well. But you know what? We're gonna change the plan a little bit. Instead of starting with the clip, we're going to do a one movie and then we'll go to the one with the clip. So
Okay, right.
I'm going to start with one I started seeing the name of a while ago, like 6 months, 8 months ago. And we get these lists saying planning to be released in 6 months for cinemas. And I kept on seeing this Colleen Hoover's It Ends With Us. Now, I wasn't familiar with her, but when it's leading with the name, I was going, there's a reason they're leading with the name. And I Googled her and I realized, and I'm a big reader, she's the best selling reader in the world at the moment. Not J.K. Rowling, not Stephen King. That's who it is. And she's a self published author. She wrote these sort of romance novels, but there's a bit more to them than that. And I said to the boss, I think this might be a thing because of the way they're doing the name. He's going, nah, never heard of it. Bang. Next thing, it arrives in, tickets sold like a month in advance. People are buying tickets for it. So I managed to have a look at it today. And here's the thing. So we had so many movies. I haven't had time to watch all of them. I've seen four and a half of the six movies we're going to talk about. I started watching it today going, this is really not my cup of tea. Nothing wrong with that. Can't like everything. This sort of romance, but this thing, and everyone's so gorgeous. And like there are non-ironic lines of like, what do you do for a living? I'm a brain surgeon. What do you do? I'm I'm starting a flower shop because I'm clearly a millionaire. And I just started a flower shop in the middle of this big city with no backing. And I was going, I'm going to sneer at this. And then I started to get drawn in because it's
Oh,
really well done. And it's really into it. And all the time I was thinking, oh man, I thought I wouldn't like this. So I just going to watch some of it so I can tell Shamey what it's like, knowing I wasn't going to be able to watch all of it because the cinema had to open in half an hour. So I'm an hour in going, I can't believe I have to stop this. I was so annoyed, right? But I had to stop it so I could let people in to see Despicable Me. I was really annoyed. And so I've only seen an hour of this. I still don't think it'd be, it's my thing really. And it's a bit Emily in Paris meets Sex in the City for me, but there's more to it. It's a dark side, and they know characters. The characters are interesting. They may not be believable, but hey, I'm going to talk about Spider-Man swinging through. That's not particularly believable either. It's entertaining, it's clever, and there's a dark side to it that I don't want to say too much about if people don't know
okay.
it. I think this is going to do really well, and I was really impressed. And that's all the more impressed for something that you don't think you'd like, and then you do go, well, that's pretty good. So
Hmm.
that's a start.
That's it. It ends with us,
It
which is a
ends with us.
very interesting title for a film,
Yeah,
isn't it?
it catches your attention. Speaking of catching your attention and
Oh
things not
yeah.
everyone will like, Kneecap are here. I'm a big fan. I'm going to try and convince you. Let's play the clip, and I hope you've cleared this.
Don't you just speak the Queen's English?
Imagine me like Jerry and Lake, so the vagam and labby, spliffuckers cup and tea, and it's the Iha Warlow, Mark Galler and Yanker, made me deal air, Farah Drew, and.
What goes lurky? You'll let his legs come and yell agree.
George go studio again. Agus is minn seo ceáil dar leis.
O come let's go, mer can siúr an crinne Dr. Drainer again.
Is the Reagan, Ganesh and Dini, the hip hop na heron.
Tor Kush.
It ain't Abbey Road in Abbey what?
Well,
That got me. That got me.
yeah, there's such a hard day's night to it though. But here's the thing: the first time I heard Ryan Gaeilge gum Ochnilam Leafa, I have a bit of Irish. I'm not fluent, but I do like it. My family are big into Irish, and I heard about this Belfast rappers who do Irish and talk about drug, sex, and rock and roll, and I went, "Oh, they're a novelty act, fine." And then I heard some of their music and went, "They're really good." And my pal Raquel, who's a DJ out in Mallorca, knows her music. Her English isn't great, let alone her Irish, but she heard them and went, they're a proper band, Collie. that's really good. I know my music. And I was going, okay. And then I heard they're doing a movie and I went, maybe the movie's a bit of a gimmick. And then you hear Michael Fassbender's in it and you go,
No, that's not a big.
And then you hear Ireland are sending it as their foreign language entry into the Oscars next year. And you're going, wow. So I was really excited to see it. I'm a fan. I've seen them live in concert, but I wasn't sure how it would work as a movie. Let's face it, just because they're good rapping doesn't mean they'll be good as actors. I absolutely loved it. The best thing to call it would be like Train Spotting meets The Commitments. That's a good thing about it. It is
Brilliant.
60% of their true story and then 40% done for jokes, laughs, and a bit of poignancy. There's a few emotional moments, which really surprised me. The boys can act a bit as well. They do not pull their punches. There's jokes, all sorts of jokes about sectarianism, about the lifestyle, about Northern Ireland. You know, you want a fairly thick skin, although most people in this part of the world do. And it's about who's making the joke, really, isn't it? And that's always been the way. As long as the jokes are coming from inside out, it's acceptable.
Okay, so I read that they spent 6 months at acting school, so they took this seriously.
Yeah, it's paid off because it really comes across. The one-liners are good, the timing is great. I suppose they're musicians, they have the time, but they don't. Sometimes people playing themselves are at their worst, and they're really good at it. And it was surprisingly moving at times, even though they don't give a monkeys. And as I said, you know, and like especially there's a lot of substance abuse in it, and you know, people have different histories in their life, and that some stuff might be a bit much for some people because they think make sure everything looks great crack, and you know, in real life not everything is. But
we were just watching the clip there.
It is the most 16-16 movie I've ever seen. Like how it's not 18s, but it blew me away. The music's great, the lads are great. It is wild and outrageous, and I think it's more outrageous than Train Spotting, which was the most outrageous movie I ever saw. But because it doesn't have,
but it looks great, Collie. I mean, I've seen a lot of the clips on that. It looks great.
I think
the visual stuff is brilliant.
To have an Irish movie like this, as you know, I'm a big fan of the Irish movies, but usually, you know, it's on Colleen Kuhn or those sort of things. I want to be at the time where an Irish movie isn't a genre; it's just another thing, and that maybe we could have like They May Face the Rising Sun and Kneecap are both Irish movies. I want to see a choice of everything. Brilliant! I loved it.
And come here, they got Fassbender in it as well. How did they manage that? Like,
because they're interesting, and I think he just got, and he's in a small but very important role, and it's how they got everyone in. But I think it's just the same as myself. People think, why would I do? Oh, hang on, this is interesting. These guys are interesting, and they're so clever. They're such clever guys. You mightn't agree with what they're saying, but they're so clever, and it's great stuff. We better move on because we'll never get through.
Okay, yeah. So I'm just excited.
I'll be talking about this next week too. Trap.
Okay.
So Trap is by M. Night Shyamalan, who people will know from things like The Sixth Sense and Unbreakable. It's all the twisty stuff, and like this movie would be all the better if you knew nothing about it. But it's all given away in the trailer. But if for some reason you're going to see it and you haven't heard about it, close your ears for 30 seconds. Guys at a concert, he finds out the whole concert set up to catch a serial killer. Twist is he's the serial killer and he's there with his daughter, and that's the whole setup about it. And I watched this morning as well, and I really enjoyed it. It is really a bit ludicrous, and like it gets by the end you're going, come on. But even with that, it is enjoyable because Josh Hartnett, who was a teen idol, who kind of walked away from the business, he's really good in it. Now, your man, the pop star in it, is kind of Taylor Swift type, is the director's daughter. His other daughter directed a movie we reviewed a couple of weeks ago, produced by him. So he's clearly a fan of the Nepo babies. But it is good if you want really kind of dumb thriller fun this weekend. And I mean that as a compliment because this sort of thing was the thing I grew up in watching on video from Extravision. I used to rent all these things and I go, oh my God, I never saw that coming. I'm 51 now. I probably see it coming. But that's not the point. It is good. And it's only 12A, which is unusual for a movie like this. So it means a lot. I think if you're 13, 14, you really enjoy this. It's good. It's good. But it's good but dumb.
Come here. Where's that open?
That's open today as well.
That's out today as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on. This was a video game.
Yeah, Borderlands. This is the one I haven't seen. And this is a very popular video game, and there's a whole raft of video games coming out. Some more successful than others. Like the cast list is damn impressive.
Unbelievable.
Kate Blanchett, Jamie Lee Curtis, Kevin Hart. Now, I'll be honest with you, it's kind of got mixed reviews in that it's good fun. It's trying to be Guardians of the Galaxy. It's probably not getting there, but it's August. People have seen all the other movies, you know, for the sort of, again, 10 to 16 audience. That's who this is for. And it's enjoyable, fun. I really enjoyed the trailer. I'm looking forward to see it. I think it's going to be one of those summer movies people are going to really enjoy. And then by next year, they'll find it on a streaming service and go, hey, did we watch that? I can't quite remember because it's fairly generic, but there's nothing wrong with just a good old popcorn movie. And we've got that this weekend too.
Okay. Right. Now, we were talking last week. We brought back Spider-Man. Spider-Man 2 is back this week.
Spider-Man 2, arguably the best of the Spider-Mans. And we won't get into that again. This is the one with Dr. Octopus. And he was probably... I sometimes think these movies depend on live or die on the villain. Because the superhero, whether you like them or not, it's all about the bad guy. And he was always the best bad guy. And I think they just got the technology right. Everything about it was great. I watched this again the other day. It still holds up. The effects doesn't matter because the story is good. And if the story is good, it's like, I remember a couple of years ago, you were saying about watching the original Superman, the 1978 one. And okay, some of the bits are a bit ropey, but because the story and the acting are good, it doesn't matter. And this is the same. And I think there'll be lots of kids who've never seen this one in the big screen. It's great. It's good, really good.
Okay. Okay, missed it Monday. You're bringing back Bad Boys.
Bad Boys, again, which I really enjoyed at the time, if you remember. But I was going, I'm not sure anybody needed a new one. I'm surprised it's coming out. Will it make money? Made bucket loads of money. Loads of money. People still love the Bad Boys. And you can see it on Monday for a $5. There we are.
Absolutely.
6 movies done in about 9
absolutely
minutes. That
fantastic. I'm telling you, I'm going to give you an Olympic medal for that one. Okay, that was Collie and Movies. Till next Thursday. Enjoy the movies.
Bye.